It's your boy Eileo, you guys, and welcome back. In today's video I have Olad, who I'm not going to try to pronounce the rest of your name, not out of disrespect, but because I know that I slaughter names, so I'm just going to call you Olad. In today's video we have Olad's account review, so without further ado boys, let's go ahead and get this party started. Alright, so right before I begin boys, if you want an account review done, either leave a comment in the video and I can send you like a link to the Discord channel, or join the Discord channel, which is in a link to every single MSO video, and either contact the boys there if I'm not online, and we can either you can even DM me via Discord and we can get together and find out a good time for you to do an account review if you need help. I mean, it's totally free and you really have nothing to lose other than maybe being uploaded to YouTube if you're okay with that. But do keep in mind that I can't do anything if you are on like an Apple product or use like the Apple App Store, because as far as I know there's not really an Apple emulator out there. I could be wrong, but I don't know if that even exists. So in that case, if you need help, obviously I can't do a video on that, but you could just send me photos of your mon box and I could help you through that method. But let's go ahead and check out what Olad has going on here. Olad, I've already went through your account here. We have talked prior and you are interested in more of the story stuff, and I also believe Golems as well. Let me double check that. Mons for Titans and then story content. PvP, doesn't really matter to you at the moment. From what I could see, for the most part, your Mons are gem perfectly fine. I've seen a lot of broken sets, which at your level, which is like level 38, I'm actually surprised to see that you're not trying to just fill out sets like a lot of newbies do. Myself included when I first began the game, because I thought that was more optimal. The only real complaint I have here, or the only real critique, is your Mowgli right here. She's Evo 3 and she's level 50, so I'm sure that you use her in some capacity. However, she's on a Valor set, but if you read right here, her skill requires crit. She has Wood Hunter. Yes, Wood Predator doesn't require it, but she's missing basically her main meat of her skill and her damage from her Wood Hunter not having the ability to crit with almost no crit rate. So I understand what you're doing while you're trying to boost up her attack, but for future reference, I'm not sure if you just didn't read the Mon skill or you just threw the set on her because you wanted to throw something on her. In the event that you can't build a Mon with max crit on Ruin, which is like everybody, at least do Intuition or a broken set, crit rate, attack if possible, or something of that nature. Crit rate, attack, HP, whatever, just so she can get as much crit rate as possible, because if not, any mon with Hunter, especially dark types, lose out on a lot of damage because Hunter isn't activated because they don't crit, and if they don't crit, well, there goes your damage. So just keep that in mind. Everything else looked fine. I've seen a lot of bruiser builds, which if you guys don't know, bruiser builds is just another synonym for HP attack defense. So your mon has a boosted stats in all of the fields to hopefully go a little bit longer in battle. They might not do as much damage, but they'll survive longer. That was very common, especially in the earlier Titans days. I don't see that too often unless it's more of a PvP type, but again, PvE doesn't really matter. But let's go over here to the Golems. Alright, so I'm assuming this might have been your B7 team, which I wouldn't say is really bad at all. Kiki is not really a wave clear, but she can do the job there, and then Mona as DPS, and then Dark Seether. So I'm actually surprised that you have a team like this, but you do have other mons. So what I would do, and I do believe your Mowgli unfortunately doesn't have a square slot, which sucks. You could pay money to get that gem slot converted so she can have a square slot, so she can have max crit. But since Mowgli is readily available, I would just say try and pick up another one. If you can build up another Wood Mowgli that has a square slot in the future, just replace it with her. There's no point in spending money on a Wood Mowgli. But for now, I mean, use what you have. You could definitely keep Dark Seether in there, but what I would do is I would actually bring in Kokomaru since he's level 50, Evo 3 anyways, and also your Miho, just to have that elemental advantage. You could bring in Boltwing. I'm not a big fan of Boltwing. And Kidu doesn't really do anything there. You could also bring Wood anew if he is gemmed properly, which at your level I don't expect him to be. But once you get everything optimized, I would definitely put in Wood anew and maybe replace him with Kokomaru, or actually replace him with your Wood Mowgli for the simple fact that she doesn't have a square slot, so she's never going to be optimal. The same thing, you can replace any of these units with your Banshee once you get her to Evo 2, I'm assuming, because it looks like you're close to Evo 2, and of course get her to 50 and 60 and stuff like that of that nature. So it's very, very important, especially for your Dark Seedler who's already level 60, which is great, but it's very, very important for your Mowgli as well, because you will be using her for now. And also your Wood Miho, in my opinion, to be level 60 to get the most damage and stability out of your attackers. Kokomaru, he can go to 60 as well, and we can check out his gems at the end of this video. But he should serve you actually quite well, especially for your Tower of Chaos, because I noticed your Tower of Chaos wasn't up to par. But let's move on. For your B8 team, you already have 2 Monas there, so Mona, you could keep Kiki in there, it doesn't really matter. And then Dark Seedler, because Dark Seedler has a nice quick animation. Trying to see if there's anyone else. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you could get rid of Kiki and bring in Draka and it'd be perfectly fine. Draka may or may not die. I never ran Draka in B8, but I've seen it done. Doesn't really matter. You have 2 Monas, 60, whatever, dude. B8's done. So it's nice that you have a moneymaker and you have a stable way of getting square slot gems, which will really help in the long run. But your main issue is just branching out to the other golems, which hopefully by the time this video ends you will have a lot of help in that. But let's move on to B9. Alright, so for B9, you could bring Kiki in here as well, but obviously I wouldn't, just because she's not really a wave clearer. She could wave clear, but her kit just isn't for wave clearing, because wave clearers usually have morale boost or battle rush or whatever, something where they gain SP very, very quickly, and then their 5-star move is either Elemental Edge, in Fire Draka's case Puncture, or Dark Gilgamesh's case Puncture, or Hunter. And usually the mons that are run as wave clears are dark types, because not only do they get the 50% boost from having Hunter, but or 30% whatever mon you're using, but they also get the innate, what is it, like the 40% crit damage boost from being a dark type anyway. So even if they aren't hitting an element like light that they're strong against, they still get some decent damage off. But you have Mowgli here, so we'll throw in Mowgli. Fire Draka, Seedler can stay because Seedler's pretty much usable in all of these cases. And then you could bring in your Valk. I mean, she's not going to really hurt anything. She's just there really just your CC, be annoying and maybe do a little bit of damage. But your Mowgli, Draka especially, and your Dark Seedler should be doing all the damage. So congratulations, my boy. You have a B9 team. And once again, my suggestion is to get these mons up to level 60. Tweak their gems as you get them in. And don't be afraid to sell gems that aren't that good, or gems that you can't use. Like, it's very, very important, especially as a newbie, when you're building a mon, that you need to focus on one mon, run the dungeons, focus on one mon, get whatever gems that you feel will fit towards them. If you're curious about it, you can always look it up on Reddit. I have plenty of review videos on them. Odin's Son, Barry, there's plenty of guys that have plenty of review and plenty of information on these mons. If you don't want to do that, just read their skills and figure out what they need the best. But focus on one mon. Focus on getting them gemmed up. They don't need to be gemmed up perfectly. Focus on, like Mowgli, get her with crit rate attack or crit rate attack HP. Focus on getting her gems good to go. Sell the rest. Keep running golems. Or you can make like a little list of what your mons need and attach those gems and sell the rest, because you're going to need money to enhance the gems that you get, which is why I'm recommending selling them. And do the same thing for your Valk. Seedler, if Seedler's not up to par, but I do believe Seedler's pretty close to max crit anyways, you would do the same thing, rinse and repeat. And especially with skill books, I would leave skill books towards the end of raising that mon up for now, and just rinse and repeat. It's not a fast method at all, but it would definitely help you out. But that's for your B9 team, so let's move on. Now for B10, obviously we are not B10 ready, but what I can tell you so far is you do have a light Victoria, which is always great to have. So in the future, maybe get her into like Nike, because she can also serve you well in PvP. You have Draka, perfectly fine wave clearer, makes your life a lot easier than others. I also saw a Water Miho, who you can use as a sapper. And then depending on your DPS, you could bring Dark Seedler in there, but he may be a tad bit flimsy. You could try it with Dark Seedler in there. I'm not going to say it's going to work because he is very glassy. If not, you can bring in Dark Kiki for now. If you can get hold of another Dark Mon, like, I don't know, even freaking Dark Mona or someone of that nature, that would be a lot better. But essentially, either bring in another sapper or another wave clearer for right now. And if your Draka's DPS is good enough, which by the time you're done farming out gems and stuff, should be on triple attack or crit rate attack, but I do recommend triple attack with crit rate subs, then you should be able to drop your Nike and just bring in maybe Draka, Kiki, and 2 sappers, or Draka, whatever better wave clearer you can find, and 2 sappers, and you should be good to go. Like, I don't see any problems in the future of you having any issues with B10. It's just a matter of you having to farm out the gems and raise the mons that you need to first in the other dungeons before you can come to B10. I'm not going to say you're B10 ready, because you are not B10 ready. You will get slaughtered in there. Not saying that it's impossible, but it just takes decent gems. If you don't want to do this method though, I believe Nestia did a while ago where he used 4 Evo 3 like Cosmo, and you could run B10 that way if you want to do it that method. I mean, both are worthwhile investments, but I would just keep the mons that you have, invest in them, because you can use Draka in all PvE content. You can use Nike in PvP. You can use Dark Kiki as a pseudo wave clearer for now, but you will eventually drop her just because her kit works, but it doesn't work that well. And then Water Miho is pretty niche, so if you end up pulling like a Water Artemis or a Fire Persephone, then goodbye Water Miho. But until then, use what you have and just keep on going with that. But that's my suggestions for you for your teams right now. You can use these mons in dragons as well, but once again, as you go up higher in dragons, your mons, number 1, better be 60. They better have not perfect gems, but they better have decent gems. I'm saying they better have decent gems. You better not go in there with a freaking, you know, 3-star conviction set and think you're gonna like jaw rock stuff, because you are going to be in for a rude awakening. But for the most part, everything will work out as long as you focus on these mons to help with your progression. Let's take a look at your Tower of Chouse though. Looks like you're stuck on floor 80. What are you running though? Draka as a wave clearer. You can use Water Odin as a stunner, but she's only level 50. That might be an issue right there. Seether as DPS, nothing wrong with that. You do have a Fire Valk as well, which I'm not sure why you aren't using, to have double CC for your Tower of Chaos. Seether is flimsy, but he can work, especially if you are playing manually. And then Fire Draka, if Fire Draka's gems are up to par, which I believe your Fire Draka's attack, defense, which isn't wrong because it's not Evo 3. But if you can get away with a triple attack set, I would say go for it. Like, go for it, my dude. But other than that, I don't really see much of an issue here other than getting your CCers up to 60 and maybe tweaking gems a little bit, and if possible, especially throwing attack trinkets on all of your mons and HP trinkets as well, even if they're 4 stars. That's going to help you out quite a bit, but I don't foresee you having issues, especially playing manually with them, unless it's just bad RNG of where your stuns aren't sticking to the mon. And if you're still having issues after this, what I would actually recommend to you is, I did see a Water Sha on your team as well. What you could do is drop Seether, bring in your Water Sha, because he has, I believe, resistance down for his first skill, which is also useful in PvP. But you can run him, have him do resistance down on whatever mob is resisting your CCs, have him apply resistance down, then allow them to do their CC, and it should stick. That should solve your problem right there. If your CCs aren't sticking, you're coming in with double CCs as well, especially with Valk doing an AoE CC. So if things work out in your favor, they shouldn't be taking much damage. But once again, I implore you to get these mons to level 60 when you can. Focus on golems and getting them decent gems. Then come back here at level 60 and decent gems from golems, and you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. It looks like you're working towards getting Valk to Evo 2. Perfectly fine with that. If you want to get your Water Sha to Evo 2, perfectly fine with that. But at the very bare minimum, at least, you know, get these mons to level 60 and some decent gems on them. And if you can squeeze out some trinkets, you should be good to go. But I don't foresee any issues with Tower of Chaos after all of that's taken care of. Alright, so other than that, let's go over here and check out your Wood Kokomaru real quick, just to make sure everything is kosher with him. He has attack, triple attack, I would just give him HP attack. It looks like you threw whatever you could on him. Nothing wrong with that. But HP attack when you decide to use him, if you will, book him up when possible. But that's, once again, that's not number one priority. His main selling point is just his stun. So if you can get his stun booked up, then forget the rest. Forget the rest, because his stun does increase, right? Yeah, it goes to 80%. Yeah. Just get his stun up. Sap doesn't really matter. He's not there for that. And he should be good to go when you use him. Now, you also mentioned Titans for your squad as well. I'm honestly not seeing very many Titan mons. It's not that you're not going to be able to do Titans. It's just that in reality, you're just level 38. There's hardly any people out there with level 30 accounts with 55 Titan ready mons. So, from what I can see though, you may have a chance at Water Titans. So with the Enkidu and Garuda, I mean, they could get some DPS off for you. You do have a Wood Phibian as well, but not really a big choice in mons for right now. But I would say that's you working with what you have. I didn't really see anything else in terms of Titan mons either. Like you could feed your Wet Garuda into your Wood Garuda. I've seen Fire Phibian using Titans as just the placeholder until you get something better, but other than Verde, there's really not much left for you to do in Titans, so I wouldn't say focus too big on Titans right now. Right this moment though, I would focus on raising the mons that I've shown you examples of, unless you find a better team, getting them gemmed up properly. Once you have all of that done, definitely, if you aren't already, try and slime out at least 1k a week if possible. Working your Astro Guide as well, just so you can get more gems in, because really Titans mons just come down to luck of the draw and people pulling a lot of mons. And also, I forgot to mention, when you're running golems, which you will be running quite a lot, you will get lucky and eventually get you some eggs as well. So if you can get some more high eggs, which you will through farming, there's a chance, I'm not saying that it will happen, but there's a chance that you can get a whole bunch of Nat 4s that will help you out. And you can also pull some Nat 5s who hopefully will be Sea Strikers. Or hopefully if someone of that nature, and you can go from there with them. There's also, I believe, what's his name? Sandwraith, who is farmable later on in the story, which you are almost there at the Deserted Battlefield. It's either the Deserted Battlefield or Terrestrial Rift. I believe you can catch the RGB Sandwraiths. Water Sandwraith, you can catch a couple of those if you want. You use them for your Water Titans team right now. But your main focus, honestly, is just on gems and raising the mons that you have up right now. And once you get them raised up and you get in like the motion of things, of course, I recommend, just, even if you don't want to slime out 1k, slime out 600 gems. Save those for festivals, I would say, especially for Heroes Festival, and pray to the God that you can get some Titan mons and help fill out your roster. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing I have really any complaints about with your account being so young as it is. Once again, just focus on leveling those mons up, getting gems for them, hopefully getting Astro Gems for yourself so you can pull other Titans mons, so you can have a bigger, more prominent feeling in Titans, because it sounds like you're interested in that. And of course, with you having already farmable teams, you get access to the later level of dragons, and hopefully get your Draka on a Siphon set, and be able to clear out Tower of Chaos every month and get a free Nat 5 along with the hero dungeon, and be well on your way. Because even if you had Titans mons ready for me to review right now and take a look at, you simply don't have the farming teams to do anything with them. So one step at a time. It's going to take a while, but it's a journey that everyone goes to, and that's part of the fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I definitely hoped it helped. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. If you haven't subscribed already but you've been lurking, I can tell. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe. And once again, if you want an account review done, I said that earlier in the video. And as always, guys, thank you so much for your time, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.